My name is Lydia Carpenter. I farm here with my partner Vian Prinsloo and our little one Alistair. I live in southwest Manitoba, close to Belmont, and we have got a mixed livestock operation here. We have a quarter section of land, which is 160 acres, in addition to leased land. We work with our neighbor and we do planned grazing with our cattle, and we've got poultry and pigs as well, and we direct market most of what we produce to Winnipeg and Brandon. I would say that there are people on the prairies who are practicing agroecology. They may not define it that way. Okay, so we've got other types of practices, regenerative, we have planned grazing practices, and I do see as a young producer that there's a movement towards recognizing sort of the importance, or an increased recognition of sort of the importance of soil health, water retention, mineral cycling, proper hydrologic cycling, the carbon cycle, and so it goes by different names. And so I think that there is agroecology happening here on the prairies. The way that people define it and the things that they talk about doing would fit within the scope of agroecology. In order to work towards a food system in Canada that's based in agroecology, we need to address the scale of agriculture in Canada, right from coast to coast. So including the prairies. If we're looking at, in Manitoba, where I live, for example, the average size farm in Manitoba is 1,200 acres. We'll have some farms that are smaller, some that are larger than that. But looking at land under management, the majority of land under management here would be grains and oilseeds. So how do we create systems and solutions that can address the scale of agriculture in the prairies? Think about history on the prairies and how we got to where we are today, and the project of settlement on the prairie landscape. All the institutions that were put in place were put there to move farmers from settlement towards modernization. And it's a very well established system of agriculture. And so in order to incorporate agroecology, and I think farmers want that. Like I can see that moving towards those solutions, towards climate change mitigation or adaptation, improved soil health, increased mineral cycling, we need to be able to use the existing system to some degree to make that happen. So looking at agroecology at scale on the prairies, I see that one pathway forward would be using the existing infrastructure and institutions that are in place. So government policy that addresses agroecology or sort of looking at outcomes based on agroecological practices, looking at our water districts, our insurance programs, and all the infrastructure that's been in place to support farmers. So one of the issues is that we need more people on the landscape. And so how do we get more people on the landscape? I think supporting young people in their pursuits in agriculture, supporting agricultural workers that come to the prairies, so that they can live in community and stay in community, finding ways of pushing these programs and finding support system, whether it's incentives for agroecology so that people build them into their farm planning, and then also having sort of good pathways to succession so that people are in the position of ownership and equity so that they can make decisions about management on the landscape. If they have a future vision for their farm and they want to be able to take advantage of programs that promote agroecology, how do we get these people in a position of decision making? So good succession, good policy to keep people in rural communities, and good policy to bring people to rural communities who have a vision for the future of agriculture.